I think I overslept. Hey, Dave, it's time to start the show.
Okay, Orb, I'll be right there.
Guess I should have told Alexa to wake me up on Sunday at 6:30. I just said every day at 6:30. Well, have fun, everybody. I'm gonna go take a nap.
It's this Justen News Comedy Club show with your very special guest stars, Zivan Vasquez, PaulKilmer, CarolJohnsonLOL, Sandra Doss, Lynndale, and your headliner, Justen Williams. And now, without further ado, the master of ceremonies, the man who hasn't been able to catch a wink in about 40 days. Please welcome Aaron! Yay! Have fun, y'all!
Yeah, all right. Well, welcome everyone to this Justen News show. I'm going to make sure I am spotlighted. And it's Saturday. We're going to have a great time on the show tonight. We have 6 great comics here. And wow, what a week it wasn't. It wasn't a great week. I don't know about you, but this week was the longest week I think I've ever seen in 2021 so far. I don't know if it could get any longer, but they keep telling me it was only 6 days, and I swear it was like 24 days in a week. I don't understand how that happens. Oh, I'm doing home improvement right now. Does anyone else love doing home improvement? Show of hands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you do. So be here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Got some work for you to do. Thank you so much. I hate home improvement. I hate it so much. You know, I do all the work, but I don't get to shine, and my value doesn't go up. But, you know, my cardboard box, on the other hand, it doesn't get robbed as much now. So I'm guessing. I guess that's okay. But we're going to go start off the show tonight with a very funny comedian. I want to please welcome to the stage Zivan Vasquez, everybody. Woo!
Woo! Hey, everybody. Yep, that's me. I'm right here. So I realized that I would rather eat a pork chop than, oh gosh, hold on. I would rather eat a pork chop. Yes, I would rather eat a pork chop is the beginning of my joke, but the end of the joke is I would rather eat a pork chop in a mosque than tell a white girl I don't believe in astrology. Okay. Because at least in the former case, they just kick you out. But I have 4 years of college experience with these individuals, and it is terrible. All right. And the thing is with astrology is like it already reinforces that everybody is worse at something than somebody else. You know, you're trying to explain to somebody that like the reason why Michael Jordan is the best basketball player is because he's a Capricorn and he has perfect genetics. Okay, it doesn't really matter at that point. All right, you know, he's going to be dribbling the basketball, looking at your star chart, breaking your ankles. It really doesn't matter at all. Okay. I'll move on a little bit. I realized that I believe in civil rights, which is always a great way to start a joke. I believe in civil rights, but I'm really glad I wasn't born during the civil rights movement because my feet get really tired. Okay. I would not have been, I could barely hold a job in a restaurant. I would not be able to march on Washington. Okay. Give me some no-slip freedom slippers, and maybe we'll talk, all right? Like, Dr. King, no. Dr. Scholes, okay? Let's do this from the armchair, all right? Zivan, you coming to the sit-in tomorrow? No, but I will write a really well-worded letter. I will do that. I think some of these guys probably just got themselves arrested so they could just be like, oh, fuck, I don't have to walk anymore. Jesus. I'll just do it from prison. Oh my God. Geez. I think the guy who came up with the stationary bike must have been a Nazi. He had to have been. Okay. Because it's like he sees someone on a bicycle, sees him going around doing circles. He looks over at his friend. Hey, so like they can just go anywhere on those things? Yeah, man, that's the point. Fuck them. Bolt them down. Take the wheels off. All right. They're not going anywhere. All right. And then, I mean, also, like, you go to spin class, and spin class is one of the most expensive things you can possibly do. Where is that money going? You're not going anywhere. You're providing all of the energy. And they don't have to replace the wheels, y'all. Like, where is this money going? If anything, just use that to get a Peloton. Okay? This is the only situation where you pay more money to do the temporary version of something than just getting the damn thing. It would be like if every single time you went go-karting, which I'm sure you guys do all the fucking time, especially during 2020. It would be like if every single time you went go-karting, you had to put down a down payment. You know what I mean? It's like, just get a Hyundai, dude. What are you doing? I don't have APR on this bumper car. Okay, hey, that rhymes a little bit. I didn't realize that. Oh gosh. How am I doing on time, Aaron?
You got a minute 19.
Minute 19. Cool. I'll leave you guys with this. I have heard, and maybe you guys have heard this before, that comedians are the philosophers of our time. Okay, I'm pretty sure philosophers are the philosophers of our time. We still have those. Guys, we still have philosophers. It's not like Socrates was on his deathbed and he goes, hey, oh gosh, leave metaphysics to the guy that talks about his member at the Parthenon. Oh gosh. If any of you guys have a really killer metaphysical Tinder joke, that's fine. But as for me, I'm going to just stick to my jurisdiction and leave that stuff to Nietzsche and the Carlins of the world, because I certainly can't do either. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, I've been Zivan Vasquez. Thank you very much.
Round of applause, everybody. And Zivan, where can we find you on social media?
So yeah, I am _ZivanV_ on Instagram, and then I'm just Zivan Vasquez on Facebook.
Awesome. Go check him out. He runs a Facebook show. Do you do that every day now? I don't remember. So.
Oh yeah. So I run a workshop every day at 12:30, and then I have a showcase every Tuesday night at 9 Eastern.
Awesome. Go check that out. You're comedians. Go check that out. If you're not a comedian, don't go check that out. All right. The showcase, I don't know. Do you stream that live? Do you stream this Facebook?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, if you are or are not a comedian, you should still check it out.
Okay. No discrimination there. I meant the exercise of writing. That's what I meant.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, oh my gosh. Hey, I make a lot of mistakes too. And my wife just looks at me and goes, why? Why do you do this? And I'm like, you married me. And then she realizes I'm the mistake. So.
Oh, come on now.
I know. I'm not a mistake, but she just kind of shakes her head. Why? When she sees puppets pop out and she comes down the basement and she just cries and runs upstairs. But she still loves me, although my food's been tasting a little different lately.
Oh, geez. All right, puppets in the basement, kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie, kind of creepy.
You see the guys? They're not gonna do anything. Hold on. What? Dave Weirdo? You can go outside.
All right. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next guest, right?
Let's go to the next comic, because he's a very funny comic, and he's a magician too, not a musician, a magician. Please welcome to the stage, PaulKilmer, everybody. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, how you doing?
Doing good.
I don't talk like that. I just needed you to like me right then. I have low self-esteem. I'm a comic magician, so comics don't think I'm funny and magicians don't think I'm good at magic. I'm like the Raisin Bran of comedy magic.
Raisin Bran.
You eat me because you have to. I will do something really quick for you. This is something I've been doing for a long time, which is something only magicians say.
Woo!
Oh.
Nice. Yeah. Essa banera. It's full of potassium, and it's phallically shaped, so I don't have to write a joke. I'm gonna put this away before I get canceled. All right. So, I'm gonna show you guys how to do a trick. You guys can do this at home, so you can get not invited over for family gatherings like me. All you have to do is fold the dollar bill like this and fold it in half, and all you got to do is flick it, and you can get the George Washington to flip upside down.
Ooh.
I know, I didn't say it was good. I just said I was going to teach you the trick. So what I can actually do it faster. This one's a little bit harder. You might need to practice, but if you hit it right here, you can get it to go back to the way it was. It's broken, isn't it? I broke it. That's okay. That's okay. I got more $1 bills. So a little bit about me that most people don't know is when I was diagnosed with autism. But if you don't laugh at any of my jokes, you're a bad person. And if you are a bad person, you weren't going to laugh anyway. So that's not my problem. This is a comedy show, right? But I'm not saying that the autism helps me with the Rubik's Cube, but it just makes it better. I'm just better at it than you because of the autism. This is where I lost you. Anyway, so this is what happens. If I squeeze it like this, I can get it to solve itself.
Whoa.
I know, it's crazy. It's like magic. I can do it. I I just have to use this bag because sometimes I have performance issues. You could ask my fiance. It's not sexual. It's sexual. Anyway, every magician has a magic wand. This is my magic wand. This, some wizards go to Hogwarts. I went to the 7-Eleven School of Magic because my parents didn't care about anything in the 90s. So this is where I was raised. I always say, if your parents didn't raise you in the 90s, you weren't from the 90s. Anyway, I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, the cube. All I have to do is wave the cube over the bag and say the magic words, non-gonococcal meningitis. Oh, wait a minute, guys, look, more bananas that are actually real. More bananas. That's a callback to a joke I made earlier. All I've got to do is turn the bag around and pull out the cube. It solved itself. Now you might be saying to yourself, is there another cube in the bag? But I'm not supposed to tell you about it, but just in case it's also solved. I have 34 minutes left because I'm a professional. I guess my timer is different than yours. So I'm gonna go by your timer and not mine. So what I told you guys that I'm autistic, I was actually telling the truth because that would be terrible of me to do. And I was told that I wasn't going to be able to do this, be a magician or a comedian, because I don't understand social cues or timing, but I just did. I just did make you laugh. So that guy in the 90s didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
So if you have a physical or a mental disability, you could achieve your goals and talk about your personal problems to strangers. I hope you guys have a good day.
All right. Round of applause. And Paul, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at PaulKilmer5, which isn't my Venmo, it's my Instagram. PaulKilmer2 is my Venmo because I mentioned it and now I'm gonna tell everybody. And you can find me at PaulKilmer at PaulKilmer on Facebook. I'm pretty much everywhere.
Cool. You're at Paul Mart too, because I've never been.
Yeah,
to
I know those are expensive.
It's not Walmart prices, it's Walmart prices, guys. All right, thank you so much, Paul. We'll see you.
No problem.
All right, and I'm gonna do this. Hi, we're back here. Oh, that was so hilarious and fun and magic. You know, I haven't had
That
some
was
magic.
awesome. I love magic. Do you like magic?
Oh, I love magic. I grew up in the '70s during Doug Henning. Anyone
Yes,
remember?
I was just gonna say the same thing. He had the mustache and the hair, and he'd go, "It's magical."
And then,
Yeah.
and then in the '80s, he magically disappeared. I don't know
Yes.
if he just went into a box and came out as David Copperfield or what happened, but he just.
Didn't he always look like Gallagher, though? You know, the guy that used to smash all the watermelons? They looked exactly alike to me. So
Yeah,
maybe
they
he was really Gallagher.
Oh man, I didn't like Gallagher much. He would have come back as Doug Henning.
I know. No, but Paul, you were awesome. I loved that. That was
Thank
really
you.
cool.
Thank you, Paul. Up next is a very funny lady. She won to be on the show. Yeah, some people have to win to be on the show. She won my game show on Friday nights called Bombing Run, and she kicked butt. So please welcome to the stage, Carol Johnson, everybody. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And I have to share the most exciting news. I'm finally fully vaccinated.
Yay!
I have not been this excited to get a shot since that STD scare back in high school. And you know, COVID's been called the boomer remover, but it's going to take a lot more than COVID to take me out. You know, growing up, I survived lead paint, pesticides in my food, and one entire family, doesn't matter how many people, shared one phone. What a concept. And it had a cord and a rotary dial. Oh my God. I know why I will never text as fast as my kids. I don't have arthritis. I have RPS, rotary phone syndrome. And I've actually tried to practice with both thumbs, but my left thumb just can't spell. It's not going well. And you know, it was only a telephone. There was no calculator. There was no camera. If you really wanted to share a photo, you had to take real film, drive it, drop it off, wait a week, drive back, pick it up, and then you had to mail it snail mail. And I remember by the time the photo arrived, I'd regretted sending the naked photo in the first place. And I could never have film developed again because the creepy man at Photomat had seen me naked. You know, and I've really got to share. It's really tough getting old. I know now why it's called menopause. It's because my girly hormones have hit the pause button, and every day I'm a little bit closer to becoming the man of my dreams. It must show. My son calls me dude. And I got to share this. I just got one of those ads on my phone for ED. I can get Viagra and Cialis. It's like, woo, how did they know? But I can't wait till I really get the chance to stand up to pee. Gonna be an amazing time saver. Am I right, ladies? No more standing in line for me, you know? And it's like, whatever happened to growing old gracefully? My mother's 93, smoked and drank her entire life, still growing old gracefully. I have to work out every day just to keep up with gravity. Usually yoga, Pilates, and running from my responsibilities. But truly, I actually did try running. I hate running, and I ran a mile, and I was so proud of myself. And I rushed to my phone to figure out the calories I'd burned. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. That's not even enough to make a chia pet. Forget running. I'm not running anymore. And namaste, my butt. You know, my warrior's weary. My crow is crooked. And if I have to do one more downward dog, I swear I'm going to bite someone's leg. You know, and it's like all of that working out in my butt is still so flat that I could do squats from here to the moon and it will never look like any of the Kardashians, even Rob. So I've decided when I am really old, like the girls when I was growing up, we didn't have implants. They had to stuff their bras. I'm going to stuff my diaper. I'm going to stuff the right cheek with snacks. So when I fall down and I don't get back up, I won't starve to death. And the left cheek with treats. So while I'm laid out, my cat won't eat my face. And I just want to leave you with my public service announcement. If you do not have children yet, think very carefully before you have them, because once a parent, always a parent, and sometimes they never leave. And that is why animals eat their young. Thank you guys so much. You've been great. This has been so much fun.
Let's give it up for Carol Doss, everyone. All right, yeah. And Carol, where can we find you on social media?
If you, social media, I'm on CarolJohnsonLOL on Instagram. And I've got my own show on ASY TV. I'm the goddess of humor on, well, it's my own segment. It's not my own whole TV show. Maybe ASY TV. Love on Lockdown.
Oh, wow. Love this. We're going to have to check that out. She almost has her own TV show. She has a segment of it. That's so
really
cool.
close.
Really close. I mean, I thought this Justen News, if I make it a channel, you could say you were on this channel. There you go.
There I am. Thank you.
There you go. Oh my gosh. You know, I thought that this same dude was the 80s, so I didn't realize I was already calling people out, women out on menopause. I am so sorry. I apologize.
It's back.
It's back. Dude, tubular, totally radical. Okay, now everybody left.
Oh, and it's so good to see Carol. Carol and I have done a bunch of festivals together. We've
done a bunch. Yes,
a ton, right? Burbank
We're like
Comedy Festival. Yeah, seriously, we're like, oh, you're in this too. We've so many shows together. She's a riot. Makes me laugh every single time.
We're like the best buddies that haven't met yet.
I know. I can't wait till we meet in person. We're gonna be like, oh my God.
Yeah. And there's a lot of us like that because I'm actually going somewhere this July. I'm not going to say yet. We're still working out the details, but I'm going to meet some of my buddies and we're going to do some comedy. It's going to be so awesome to meet some of you. And hopefully one day I'll be on tour with this whole thing with the puppets and you guys can just run away just like they will. And it's going to be
awesome.
Perfect.
All right. Next up to the stage is a very funny lady. I got her out. I said, come on, you can be on the show. She's watched the show a lot. I said, come on, you can be on the show. And she finally said yes. So please welcome Sandra Doss, everybody. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. And please give it up for the hosts. They're wonderful. So I'm excited it's spring because I get to do some gardening. I planted some roses and it's going to be an awesome Darwinian garden. I put them on the ground and I'll let them fight it out till death. Because I'm not going to hang around, and take care of plants as much as I like them. Once everything opens up, I'm going to travel. I refuse to be a hostage of my plants. Don't like roses. It's just a week. You'll be fine. Besides, you're the ones with the roots, not me. Your roots of any kind are gonna slow me down. Look, I don't even dye my hair. So a little bit about me. I was born in Panama, and I live in Philadelphia, so I guess I'm Puerto Rican now. Hey. Last week I went downtown for an errand and I walked past a sex shop that had a sign that said financing available. Gosh, isn't it sad that even orgasms require having good credit? I don't want to know how they do that repo, you know. So I've been doing yoga lately. It's supposed to help me with insomnia and with fitness. Hopefully by summer, I'll be able to get into my Lululemons, because right now I'm more of a Lulumelon. Anyway, my doctor is treating me for insomnia, and she suggested that I practice mindfulness. I said, really? Come on, mindfulness? Don't you see my problem is precisely that my mind is too full? It's bursting. When I go to bed at night, it's like I have all this mental chatter. I feel like I have an auctioneer in my brain. I try counting sheep, but this auctioneer sells them way faster than I can count them. So as a child, I had a form of OCD. I was obsessed with symmetry. If I fell and scraped my knee, my mom had to put Band-Aids on both knees, or I would melt down into a puddle of slime, really. In my mind, I pictured the uninjured knee resenting the scraped knee for having this cool accessory and getting all the attention. So anyway, I got over my OCD by the time my Irish twin breasts came in. They evened out, so don't worry. You know, I just felt the suspense was killing you, so I had to tell you. I learned to drive in an old Dodge Dart. It had no AC and a broken speedometer. But I really, really loved that car. I drove it with the window down. It was one of these windows. And I used the wind, the intensity of the wind to give me an idea of my speed. One time a cop stopped me and I said, "What's wrong, officer?" And he said, "Young lady, you were going so fast. Your left eye was merging into your ear." So this morning, I read that the fashion from the 80s is coming back. So some of you guys will be quite happy about that. And I hope that includes the hairstyles. I rocked mine back in the day, but it took hours of work to get it just right. I often fainted from the exhaustion or from the Aquanet fumes, whichever hit first. Back then, it was all about the reflex. Unfortunately, now it's more all about the reflux, flux. That's it for me, folks. I'm Sandra Doss. Good night.
All right. Sandra Doss, everybody. And Sandra. Oh, what happened to Sandra? Oh, let's get her back. That's fine. Hey, Sandra, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook, Sandra M Doss. On Instagram, Sandra, the number 2, then an S, yo. Yeah, it's gonna take some homework. So it's a bilingual, wordplay.
That's awesome.
And
okay.
And I'm on Twitter at Sandra M Doss 3. The number 3.
All right, let's keep it track. Uno, dos, tres.
You got it. That's right.
What do you know? I know something.
You got it. And on May 14, I'm going to be in one more dad show because my husband doesn't want to be a comedian. So, it has to be.
Sweet. Go check that out. All right. And she said she learned how to drive in a Dodge Dart and she had the windows down to see how fast she went. I inherited a vehicle when I was in high school. It's International Travel, and I have to explain that. It's a Suburban, but by International Harvester. And it was the most ugly thing my grandpa could have drove. It was gray primer outside, yellow inside, black vinyl seat. That's it. There was one bench seat. There was nothing behind us. If you could go 55 miles an hour, you were lucky. Otherwise, you just said, forget it. I just hope for a trade wind or a wind to blow me down the hill. That was all I could do. That's a battle beast. It was disgusting. It was.
That's a car. That's a car. My mom bought a 1968 Galaxy 500. Ooh. And I didn't want to drive it. So I didn't get my license till I was 21 because I was like, I don't want to drive your car.
I had no choice. I had to get my license as early as possible because I had to get back to my job on the farm. See, my dad always kind of, what, school? Seriously, you have to go to school? You have to be back on this job right now, young man. So, he was that way when I was from 6 years old up till when I graduated, and I finally said, I quit.
Oh my gosh.
All right. We have a very funny comic coming up, and if you haven't seen him, you're in for a treat. I want to welcome to the stage Luke Lynndale, everybody. Woo!
Luke.
All right. So, you know, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, one of the things that still bothers me, even during the pandemic, I get stressed when I go to the grocery store and there's no cart. You ever have that? You get there, there's no cart. You don't like that? Can't do anything because there's no cart. You got to stand there waiting for a cart. You ever do that? It's weird. Then I got a quarter for the cart. Just stand there, wait for the cart. Stand there. Then, like, after 20 minutes, you're like, I got to go inside because I didn't stand here waiting for a cart. You got to go into the grocery store looking for a cart. That's weird. I came shopping. Now I'm shopping for a cart. Don't like that. Like that. You ever have this? You get into the produce aisle, you know, and you get yourself a really great pineapple. You pick up that pineapple, you're squeezing that pineapple, you love that pineapple. You're like, this is the pineapple for me. This is my pineapple. But then you can't put it in your cart because you don't have a fucking cart. You can't walk around the grocery store with a pineapple. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's just weird. You can't do that. And then I gotta go. I gotta go now looking for a cart. And you know what happens when you start looking for a cart? I start judging other people and how they're using their cart. You ever do that? I saw a woman, she had a kid in the cart. She had a kid in the cart, and I was like, what are you doing with a kid in the cart? You put food in a cart. Like, what are you doing? That doesn't make sense. And then I was like, and the kid, she didn't even have the kid in that top part of the cart, you know what I mean, where you put a baby. She had a kid in that big part of the cart. Your kid's 14. Get your fucking kid out of the cart. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And then I walked around. I saw this one guy, and he had 8 watermelons and 2 carts. Hey, fine, buy a lot of watermelons. You're weird, whatever, but there's a cart shortage at the moment. Use one fucking cart or make multiple trips. It's not complicated. Then I saw an elderly gentleman. He had brought a cart from home, okay? Like one of these personal carts. I don't know if you've ever seen those. You can get your own personal cart. He brought that from home, but he had taken it and he had put it in a cart. What are you doing? I need a cart, and you fucking came with the cart. You have a cart. Like, what's... And then I paid attention, okay? And this guy had a cart inside his cart. And inside that smaller cart, it was the Russian dollar carts. Like, what are you doing? Come on, you know what I mean? Anyways, so then I'm traveling the entire store. I don't know if you've ever seen this, right? There's always this one cart, and it's just full of stuff, right? And then when you ask them, hey, why is this cart full of stuff? They tell you, like, well, we're restocking. We're taking all this stuff, and we're restocking it. They're not. It's bullshit. They're just doing it to mess with people like me who need a cart. Anyway, and then I'm walking around the store. I'm at the last aisle, okay? I still don't have a cart. And I think we can all agree that when you're at the last aisle, that's why you came shopping, because that's where the ice cream is, right? So I'm there now. I've literally done all my groceries and I have nothing to show for it. So I got to go right back to the front. I get back to the front. I mean, 45 minutes in the store at this point. I get back to the front. Still no cart. How can people be in the store? There's no cart. Doesn't make sense. Anyways, the thing is, I go back to the front. You know what they always have at the front is those little handheld carts. You ever seen those? Those little bullshit handheld carts. Do you know why they have a lot of those? Because no one wants that. I didn't come here to buy fucking cereal and fucking bread. I'm not here to buy breakfast. I'm here to eat. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, the thing is, so I look outside, right? And Jimmy, the cart collector, he's up there and he's collecting. He's decided to wait to collect all the fucking carts together. Bro, only bring one in, Jimmy. I'm inside. I just need one. Anyways, this is what I say. At the end of the day, I don't know if you guys have Tim Hortons, but it works like this, right? If you go to Tim Hortons and there's no maple dip donut and you're in Canada, close the fucking place down. Just close it. There's no cart. Close it up. We're done here. I don't care how much coffee you have. We're finished. You know what I mean? Anyways, I just want to end with this really quickly. I just want to say this, okay? Like, this is what happened. a couple weeks ago. So this is the deal. I found a gray pube. Yeah, I did. I found a gray pube. That happened. I know when you look at me, you're like, I don't look like a gray pube kind of guy, but I am. I was surprised as well. You know what I mean? And what I don't understand with the gray pubes is this, is that at the end of the day, I get why I have gray hair. I have gray in my mustache, so I can send a message to other people like, hey, I'm older. No one's looking at my pubes. I know I'm older. I don't need to be told that. I don't need that. And the worst part, when you pull out a gray pube, you know what happens? 3 gray pubes grow in its place. So you can't pull them out. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Pubes, gray pubes are like, you know when you have your lawn and you have a weed and you pull out the weed, a whole bunch of fucking other weeds. Next thing you know, that lawn is filled. Like you're done now, all you got is gray pubes. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Anyways, that's all my time. Thank you.
All right, let's all give a big round of applause to Luke Lynndale, and I'm gonna get followed with it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't do that. What happened here? Oh my gosh, what happened? A technical.
I'm not touching anything.
I don't know what happened. Luke, where can we find you on social media?
I'm Luke Lynndale everywhere.
Everywhere.
At Luke Lynndale. I'm
At
nice
Luke
and simple.
And do you have any shows coming up here shortly?
I'm in the World's Best Laugh next Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific.
World's Best Laugh. That's awesome. Are they selling tickets to that, or is that something we can all watch?
That's an online show which streams to Facebook at that Facebook page, the World's Best Laugh.
World's Best Laugh. Go check that out Sunday night. Hey, it's not competing with this Justen News, so go check it out. Yeah. Thank you, Luke. You're so cool.
Thanks,
oh
Aaron.
my God. You know, that's why I love Luke. He gets started. He's like a Dodge Hellcat with a jet engine.
Luke would never be described as dainty. You would never use the word dainty around Luke.
I think he's probably really quiet in public, and then he just goes, and then someone starts him up, and that's the end of the story. And
no, he cracks me up. He's so funny because he gets like, are you, when you perform live, Luke, are you scared when you're on stage?
No.
I wouldn't think so. I feel like you grab that mic out of the stand and you're just like, whoa, whoa, like the whole time.
That's the best thing me live. It's the same.
Yeah, he's legit. Like last time I saw him, he had a dog mask on.
A dog mask?
That's right.
Well, if you could pull that off with a dog mask on, I think no one tried to mug you after this.
Check out for my YouTube channel, Bruce Hetherington, coming soon.
Oh my God, this show is so fun. We've got a nice variety. This is great.
Yeah, this show. I was trying to mix it up with the different people, and we've had 5 amazing comics tonight. One of them was a magician, not a musician. Magician. But now, coming up to the stage, a man who has 10 whole minutes to do. Please welcome Justen Williams, everybody. Woo!
Hello. I love how that is my intro. You're like, he has 10 minutes. I don't know if he's funny, but I'm paying you. Keep it going for your hosts, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it going for the people who run the show behind the scenes. Thank you so much. Keep it going for Joan. Hi, Joan. I see you over there, baby girl. I see you. You looking cute. You cutie. All right. So just recently, I celebrated my 27th birthday. And my father gave me a card which read, "One man's trash is another man's treasure. By the way, you're adopted." This is the same man who, when I told him I want to go bungee jumping to celebrate my birthday, he replied, "A broken rubber brought you into this world, and a broken rubber can take you out." My dad's a hard ass, man. Growing up in my house, he never let anything slide. But just recently, I was cleaning his bedroom, and I found a bottle of Viagra pills. So I know my old man's gone soft on me. But to celebrate my birthday, I went up to Kingston, Ontario, which is about a 3-hour drive, to do a show at a very prestigious club called Absolute Comedy. Now, I was spending the night there because it's 3 hours, so I got a hotel. I'm checking into my hotel room, and the girl behind the counter goes, "Mr. Williams, I am pleased to inform you that we're operating at 25% capacity. And I said, do I still get 100% of my room? And she did not laugh at all. So I go out to my room and I'm hungry because I've been driving, whatever it is. And I have these like Minute Maid rice and I throw it into the microwave, but it's not turning on. I check to see if it's plugged in. It's not unplugged. It just, I push power, it doesn't work. I'm like, ah, damn it. So I called down to the front desk and I go, hey, my microwave's broken. And she goes, Mr. Williams, are you sure it's not unplugged? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's not unplugged. And then she went, can you check one more time? And I'm like, I see it, it's not unplugged. It's there. I can follow the cord. And then she goes, fine, I'll send maintenance up in 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, maintenance shows. Dude opens the door and he goes, hi, I hear your microwave's unplugged. And I'm like, it's not unplugged. Right? He goes, I'll be the judge of that. So he walks in, unplugs it, replugs it, presses power, nothing happens, turns to me and goes, your microwave's broken. I'm like, I know! And he goes, what do you want me to do about it? Come here. I hear this hotel is operating at 25% capacity.
Yeah.
Meaning 75% of these microwaves are unemployed. So why don't you snatch me one of those? Moral of the story, I didn't eat and I did a show hangry. It was great. It was fun times. But a year before that was the pandemic, so I didn't celebrate my birthday. But the year before that, for my 25th, I went to Ottawa and I did a show in another comedy club there. And that's where I learned about cancel culture. Because here's the joke that got me in trouble. All I said was, I'm 25. I'm thinking about having a family. I don't know if I want my genetic output to be what I produce to this world. Perhaps I'll just invest in a slightly used child. Or adopt if you're politically correct.
Oh.
Right? And that's all I wanted. Just a little bit of a chuck, shoulder shrug, nothing. I had one girl in the back of the audience stand up crying. And she looks at me and goes, my friend was adopted at the age of 3 and returned at the age of 12. Can you make that funny? And I said, yeah, give me a minute. Took a sip, put it down. And I said, look, I'm sorry your friend was adopted and then returned. That should never happen. But maybe next time she'll pick an adoption agency that doesn't have a satisfaction guarantee policy. And her friends just left. And I was like, but it was a good time. It was a good time nonetheless. And then the year before that, for my 24th, I celebrated over in Germany. Now, for those of you who've never been to Germany, it's a fun place. I was in a city called Hamburg. Now, Hamburg is a city based on the concrete foundations of drugs, sex, and alcohol. So it's pretty much Detroit, except they have better teeth.
Oh.
Now, I was nervous going over to Germany. I didn't know what to expect. So I called up one of my buddies who performed there. And I said, yo, what do I expect? Told me 2 things. Number 1, make sure the Germans focus on you. I said, they're Germans. We're all aware if they're good at one thing, it's concentration.
Oh.
And then he said, make sure your first joke hits them low and hard. And I said, all right. So here's the joke I said on stage verbatim. I walked to the mic, grabbed it, looked into a crowd of people and went, yo, this country is so messed up. I would say you guys need Jesus, but since he's a Jew, you'd probably kill him. And they loved it. Because in Germany, they don't hide their historical hiccups. They embrace them. They teach them from a young age. They take them to the concentration camps and go, "Und see this shit? 9 again." So telling dark jokes like that in Germany comes at a very hollow cost, if you will. Yeah. Yeah. Now we can wrap. That was good. But I was gonna be there for 3 weeks, so I need to get a cell phone plan. And I went to a T-Mobile booth where there was a sign that said English, Dutch, and Espanol. Immediately behind the counter, the girl goes, "Sprechen Sie Deutsch?" And I said, "Nein, sprechen Sie English." And then she said, "Und du wants the handy?" Now, nobody told me that the slang for cell phone in German is handy. So when she said, "Und du wants the handy?" And I was like, I just want a cell phone, but if a handy comes with it, I'm down. And then she's like, "Und what type of cell phone plan do you want? We have the premium handy." I'm like, I'll take a premium handy. That sounds amazing. What does that come with? Scented lotion? Right? And then she got mad at me. She's like, "Und you don't want to hear about our family plan?" And I was like, "Family plan? I don't plan on involving my family in this at all. Thank you very much." Freaky Germans. And then she was like, "Und you want insurance?" And I'm like, "What are you gonna do with your hand?" But it was cool, man, because after Germany, I came back and ended up doing a show in Buffalo, New York. Now, Buffalo is a bit of a weird place to go if you've never been, especially during the winter, because sitting front row were these ugly humanoids. Every time they smiled, I noticed something different about their teeth. It was either black, yellow, missing. And I told myself after the show, I said, "Jay, you are never, ever gonna let your relatives sit front row again." But it's awesome, man. But the thing with being a comedian, especially in a tight-knit group, you end up going on tour with a bunch of people and they become your friends. I went on tour with 2 comedians. Both of them are stoners. One guy would do this thing called where he'd wake up and smoke weed, and that's called a wake and bake. The other guy, he would wake up and then masturbate, and he called that a wake and shake. So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, man, it's a fun time being a comedian. And before I leave, I'm gonna leave on this other joke. I run a podcast called Pro Sports Podcast. I'm one of 3 members, and we are the #1 downloaded sports podcast in Malaysia, which is kind of cool. I don't know anybody in Malaysia, but howdy if you're listening. But when you're #1 in anything, people tend to come out of the woodwork and they try to know you. One of my friends who I haven't seen in years sent me a message, and she goes, "Hey, Justin, I like what you're doing. We should go to a club after COVID." And I said, "Hey, friend, I don't remember. I don't go to clubs. I'd much rather go to the gym." And she said, "But Jay, clubs are just like the gym." And I said, "How?" And she goes, "There's loud music, sweaty bodies everywhere, and you're burning calories." I said, "Fair enough. But at the gym, I don't get groped." And she's like, "Yeah, well, at the clubs, I don't get groped." And I'm like, "That's because you're ugly." Anyways, I'm Justen Williams. That's my time. Thank you very much.
Oh, let's give a big round of applause to Justen Williams, everybody. And Justin, besides that podcast everybody's found you in Malaysia on, where else can we find you?
You can find me at Twitter and Instagram, which is JUS10Williams.
JUS10 Williams. Thank you so much, Justin. That was awesome.
Thank you so much for hosting.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show. You know, he said he was #1 in Malaysia. You know, this just in news when it was on BlackBerry channels. I know, shut up. It was something. I was #1 in Indonesia.
Hey.
Yeah, I had 120,000 followers from Indonesia. Do you want to know where they're at now? I have no clue at all. They're gone. They're all gone. So, but I know how prestigious that is to be #1 in a country you have no idea about. But that was awesome. Oh, we had such a great show tonight, didn't we, guys? I want to thank Zivan Vasquez, PaulKilmer, Carol Johnson, Sandra Doss, Luke Lynndale, and once again, Justen Williams. Let's all give you guys a big round of applause. My co-host, he's here. We're going to started. We're getting ready. Let's see. We're going to add a spotlight. There we go. There she is. Thank you so much. Vickie Plummer, everybody. She's my new co-host of the show. Doing an amazing job. Thank you so much, Vickie. Oh,
Thank you. This was fun. You guys were all hilarious. I'm sure you saw me laughing my butt off. It was great. It was really fun. You guys were great.
Yes, it was a blast. It was a blast.
Thank
So
you.
you guys are awesome. And so with that in mind, that's the end of the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This will be on my YouTube channel probably tonight unless I fall asleep on the couch like I did last night. But Bobby Run got up this morning at Saturday morning at 1:30. But I will get this up on the YouTube channel. But that's it for the show, guys, tonight. Stay tuned in for next weekend with 6 new comics and an hour's worth of fun. For Vickie and me, this has been an oddly funny production. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
This has been an oddly funny production.